Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points. Chapter 1, What is the purpose of getting cheats in advance? In the vast expanse of the universe, countless stars are shining brightly. In an inconspicuous corner, a silver-white flying saucer faintly appeared. In the cockpit. Senior, I can become a regular after I go back this time and become an official planet surveyor. Hee, see you are happy. It's just a planet ruled by incompetent creatures. It will take you 15 years to complete the survey, and the speed is still too slow. Incompetent creatures, that is, species in a universe that do not possess any extraordinary powers. Then the plan is finalized. Before the new prospector could reply, the alien called Senior asked directly. Senior was joking, I haven't heard of what is needed to deal with incompetent creatures. When our fleet arrives in 3 years, just do whatever you want on the blue star. Good. God xia dan jiang, yenuehara. At night, the stars are especially shining. On the roof of a private house, Su Yang was lying lazily on his back chair, looking up at the starry sky 45 degrees. This is Blue Star. A planet similar to Su Yang's hometown. And him. Is just one of the countless teenagers in the Celestial Dynasty. Last night I was still thinking about what industry I should work in the future, but I didn't expect to come here in a blink of an eye. In front of his eyes, there is an interface that only he can see. Ding! The system is binding. Ding! The system is bound. You get a novice reward, 3 luck points. Then the interface disappeared. System. Su Yang was shocked, give me the system. The next moment, all the information about the system slowly flowed into his head like flowing water. Gentle and comfortable. This is a system called, good people get rewarded. As long as he does good deeds, he will get indefinite lucky points. 100 lucky points can be combined into 1 luck point. Use 1 luck point to give him a chance of extreme luck. For example, the lottery catches what you want, a coin toss and a standing one, and a lottery draws the best one. Even with a probability of tens of trillions, you can encounter it again and again after using the chi luck point. Hiss, although the function is simple, it has to be said that the effect is very powerful. After understanding the system functions, Su Yang seriously commented. But he didn't have much joy. Instead, his face was full of worries and doubts. The predecessors of the Traversers usually get gold fingers after conflicts with the native aboriginals. But I didn't mess with anyone today. Furthermore, gold fingers can help the protagonist reach the top. Can this world reach the top by luck alone? Got the golden finger inexplicably, which made Su Yang puzzled and even a little nervous. This thing will definitely not appear for no reason, since it will appear, it has its meaning. But the current world is indeed limited by luck. Could it be? Thinking about it, a scent of fragrance came from behind. Smelling this familiar smell, Su Yang instantly broke his thoughts. What are you thinking about? A mature and gentle female voice came from behind. Tang Wuyue, the landlord of the house rented by Su Yang, a well-known big beauty, unknown age, mysterious background. I heard that there is a real estate certificate for a large building nearby. Su Yang looked back at her, then stood up, shook his head and said. I wonder what wish to make later. News reported that there will be a large-scale meteor shower that is rare in a century at 12 o'clock in the evening on June 11th, lasting about 6 hours. Now the time is almost up. There was a hustle and bustle in the park downstairs. Su Yang walked to the edge of the roof and saw that the park was full of people. Tang Wuyue followed Su Yang to the guardrail, and followed his gaze to see the crowd below. There are so many people. Well, because the students are on vacation now, and tomorrow is also the weekend. Weekend, will those people come back to you tomorrow? Huh? Those people? Su Yang looked startled, and then remembered. He came through, and at the moment of crossing, the world automatically generated a life path for him. In this world, he was hated for living with Tang Wuyue at the weekend of last week. A group of 5 people blocked at the gate of the yard and wanted to beat him. But helplessly, Su Yang was too strong, and these 5 people were beaten by Su Yang with bruised noses and swollen faces. Speaking ruthlessly when escaping will definitely make him look good. Thinking of this, Su Yang smiled and said, "It shouldn't be. My personal strength is very high, even if I ask more people to come over, it will be in vain." Most of them realized in that battle. He has this confidence in his own force. Unless they have superpowers, it is impossible to beat me. But this is a world without superpowers. So Su Yang didn't care about these people at all. Tang Weiyue nodded slightly. She stroked her black and smooth hair, still looking at the crowd below, and whispered. "I think you have been out of your mind since last night. Have you encountered any trouble?" "What?" Su Yang was shocked, and didn't quite understand what she said at first. Then suddenly realized something, and a cold sweat started on his back. "Last night? Isn't it when he crossed over? Could it be that my every move has been under her nose since then?" He stared at Tang Weiyue. The face of the alluring country and the city was now illuminated by the colorful lights on the ground with a scent of fireworks, like a person and a fairy. Although he was flustered, Su Yang was very calm on the surface. He asked slightly suspiciously, "Am I being obvious?" "Who knows?" Tang Weiyue chuckles, "Hee, it's not obvious, it's just the first time I saw you in this state in 6 years." She turned her head to face Su Yang, and said gently, "We have lived together for 6 years. I still don't know what's your situation. Speak up if you have any troubles, I might be able to help you." Su Yang heaved a sigh of relief. Yu read www.yuukangshu.com and shook his head with a smile, "It's really not necessary." Tang Weiyue stared at Su Yang for a long time. Seeing his firm expression, she turned her head to look at the night sky, her red lips lightly opened. "All right. But I like you better now. You used to be like a doll without a soul." Su Yang. He is scared. This guy is too keen. The dark and deep night sky is like a piece of black cloth covering the sky, and the shining stars are diamonds on the black cloth, embellishing the darkness mysteriously and beautifully. You can see the meteor group. Someone yelled from below. "Wow, it's so spectacular." Su Yang looked up, and indeed saw a large number of white meteors in the depths of the starry sky, each with a long tail flame. Just after waiting a few seconds, the number of these meteors changed from about how many you can guess to about tens of thousands. And this number is increasing almost 10 times per second. Is there a lot of meteors? No, right. How do I feel that they are not going to fly over the blue star, but are coming towards the blue star? It's over, it's speeding up and falling down. Only 10 seconds have passed since the first meteors were seen. The entire night sky has been filled with meteors. It is a vast expanse of whiteness, and there is no longer a trace of darkness. People screamed in fear, but Su Yang's expression was very strange. It seems that the Lord has appeared. There is no fear in his heart, only curiosity. When the whole white expanse fell to the ground, the whole world seemed to disappear. It's just that, at the last moment, it seemed that someone was holding his hand. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points. Chapter 2, SSS level talent 10 times the points. Welcome to Login Infinite Battlefield. I am the Battlefield system, I can answer your questions for you. Log in for the first time, please draw your lifetime talent. Su Yang suddenly opened his eyes and found that he was deep in the universe, surrounded by a mysterious light, and flew to an unknown planet. Looking from a distance, as if being in a shooting star. His eyes swept around and saw countless people who were also wrapped in light, except for the elderly and children, everyone else. These mysterious lights seemed to bring them all into that unknown planet. Unlimited Battlefield. There is a column of blue words in front of Su Yang, prompting him to draw talent. The Infinite Battlefield is an endless battle platform. Here, players can choose their favorite profession and fight with other players. Through battle cards, players can bring the power gained in the battlefield into the world. Upgrades and shopping in the battlefield require points. After Su Yang asked, 3 more messages appeared in front of him. The content of these 3 messages made Su Yang probably understand the situation. It turned out to be like this. Players fight with each other, and then take the power back with them. Su Yang touched his chin and muttered to himself. It seems that they are not only not dead, but are about to usher in a good fortune. In fact, it is hard to say whether it is good fortune or not. In short, the world is no longer the original world. Was guessed right by him. Sure enough, the world will usher in a big change. And since he got the golden finger about luck, does it mean that luck is very important in this infinite battlefield? Please draw your lifetime talent. Taking talent. Su Yang's eyes lit up, and his instinct told him that there was a huge gap between good and bad talents. He looked around, there was nothing else in this light group except himself and this message, and he couldn't help asking. How to smoke? As soon as the voice fell, the prompt disappeared instantly, and hundreds of words appeared instead. These words were constantly changing and combining to generate words one by one. Super regeneration, hard armor, fury, double power, power, energy tide, brave power, alchemist. The speed of text switching is getting faster and faster, and it seems that the result will appear in the next moment. This is the beginning. Anyway, how should he use Chi luck points? This idea just came up, but I saw the information that belonged to the good people good news system appeared in front of my eyes. Do you use one luck point now? Use. Next moment. You got an SSS level talent, 10 times the points. After using the luck points, this must be the highest level reward. Check talent. He said expectantly. Please choose a basic occupation first. Hint, after selecting a basic occupation, the basic occupation can be changed to other occupations of the same type in the future. Reminder, each player can have up to 3 occupations, the other 2 occupations, please obtain them on the infinite battlefield. Professional. Huh. Su Yang was stunned, and a hexagram suddenly appeared in front of him. The 6 horns of the hexagram had different colors, and each corner was written with a profession. The 6 colors are red, blue, green, yellow, purple, and silver, corresponding to warrior, mage, priest, summoner, archer, and assassin in turn. Tentatively spotted the soldier, but saw the introduction of the soldier appeared in the middle of the 6-pointed star. Warrior, physical martial arts, swords, guns and sticks, sickle and sledgehammer, etc., are all classified as fighters. More dependent on the player's experience and skills. Rely on experience and skills. Su Yang frowned and clicked on other career information to watch the past one by one. Mage, junior mages can only use single spells and they are very crisp. Priest, if you don't like fighting, choose it. Summoner, calling thugs, gospel for lazy people. Shooter, first, you need to shoot accurately, and then talk about output. Assassin, I walk alone in the army, killing people and stealing treasures without leaving a name. Su Yang. Although some job introductions are unclear, but I can still tell the meaning. Below these career introductions, there are also attributes growth for each level of each occupation. However, Su Yang, who was still confused about infinite battlefield, wisely chose to ignore it. Can't let that thing influence my choice. After thinking for a while, Su Yang finally chose the fighter. I want to ask why. I can only say that I am more familiar with this profession, and choosing it should be more stable, right? A red streamer flew out from the warrior's corner and quickly rushed into Su Yang's body. Before Su Yang could get a good taste of this feeling, he realized that he was accelerating and falling, so fast that the scenery on both sides could not be clearly seen. Seeing that it was about to be smashed into meatloaf, the light ball slowed down again in vain as it approached the ground. In an extremely unscientific way, Su Yang was safely sent to the ground. Stood there blankly for a while before Su Yang reacted, good fellow, if I didn't choose a career, wouldn't I have to fly in the sky forever? Obviously, if you want to get down, you must choose a basic profession, otherwise you will stay in the universe forever. It seems that it has dropped but it hasn't changed at all. After regaining consciousness, Su Yang noticed the system information emerging in front of him. You have entered the infinite land, please remember the rules here. Rule 1, sealed players will get 1 point, regardless of the opponent's level and strength. Rule 2, if the player cannot be exempt from punishment, the sealed player will return to the original state. Rule 3, there are 6 hours of arrival time per day, which can be superimposed, and can accumulate up to 42 hours. It is not difficult to remember that the 3 rules are not many words, let alone Su Yang, a genius who has been both civil and military since he was a child. The only thing that puzzled him was that primitive state, so he immediately asked the system. The original state is the state where the player first descends on the infinite land, that is, your current state. If you can't avoid punishment after being sealed, all you get will disappear, and everything will start over. Hiss. Su Yang took a breath, and said with a look of surprise, the consequences of being sealed are so serious. Being sealed once is equivalent to reopening. He immediately stared and looked around. Nobody left or right. No one before and after. Nothing in the air. Underground. Su Yang stared at the flaming red leaf that he had stepped on, raised his eyebrows, and moved a few pieces at random. Only when he saw the soil below he felt relieved. Okay. It's safe for the time being. Su Yang hugged his arms and laughed humbly. Next, please go find your opponent, come on and upgrade. Hint, before the player reaches level 10, all points will be automatically used to upgrade. Reminder, please reach level 10 as soon as possible. Seeing this system information, Su Yang waved his hand immediately. No hurry, no hurry. Before acting, let me confirm my attributes first. Hint, you can call up the attribute panel by saying, attribute, silently. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points Chapter 3, Personal Panel. Properties. Although he could say silently, but seeing no one around, Su Yang called out. A shining blue virtual light curtain immediately appeared in front of him. Name, Su Yang. Level, 1, 0 out of 10. Talent, 10 times the points, special and unique. Occupation, Warrior LV1, 0/50. Professional skills, Half Moon /. Strength, 9+4. Agility, 9. Spirit, 10. Endurance, 9+2. Constitution, 9+4. Su Yang looked up and down a few times, frowned, and couldn't help saying, the panel information is so concise, if there is none, it won't be displayed. The value added after the attribute is the bonus brought by the class. If you guessed right, there should be some hidden attributes like luck. By the way, the system, what is my basic attribute level? The upper limit of each attribute of the first level human race is 10. Oh, that's it. Su Yang looked down at his masculine body, 1.78 meters tall, strong too and triceps, perfect 8-pack abs, thick and strong. Pectoral muscles. A handsome face, a strong body, a natural intellect and an acquired character, a combination of various factors, is Su Yang today. Reminiscent of those who often don't exercise, Su Yang suddenly realized that now is his advantage. When everyone hasn't upgraded yet, you should act quickly. But before that, he still had the most important thing to watch. Check talent, he shouted slightly expectantly. Talent, 10 times the points, special and unique. Quality, SSS. Effect, the points obtained through any means are 10 times the original. Although the effect can be inferred from the name, Su Yang really did not expect that any way would work. He thought that just sealing the enemy's points would double it tenfold. Any way. Su Yang carefully tasted these 4 words. In addition to sealing enemies to earn points, what else can earn points? A person stood there foolishly thinking for a long time, until there was a sound from a distance. Su Yang recovered from this state. He shook his head and threw the thoughts out of his mind. The priority now is to get to level 10 first, otherwise the points won't be used. Points before level 10 cannot be used and will be automatically used to upgrade. This was just announced by the system. Then, next. Su Yang raised his head and began to look around. He should be located on a mountain, with trees nearly 30 meters high in all directions. There are so many trees that there is no end in sight. The trunks of these trees are very thick, some up to 1 meter. There are fiery red leaves on the tree, and every leaf is burning violently. When these burning leaves leave the branches, the flames will quickly go out in the air. When it fell to the ground, I only thought it was an ordinary leaf. But no matter how it was burned, the leaves themselves remained unchanged, as if the flame were an illusion. The trees are not densely spaced so that the strong sunlight can shine directly down, adding another fire to this already high-temperature forest. I can't see a deposit of soil around my eyes, all covered by the fiery red leaves. This kind of covered ground makes people feel uncomfortable. Trees I have never seen before. Before the words fell, Su Yang saw a stream of light descending not far away. Someone is coming. It seems that this is the time to finish choosing a career. After thinking about it, Su Yang decided to go and take a look. If he is lucky, maybe the first point will be born from here. At the same time, nearby players also saw the streamer. Some people stopped, and some people rushed in excitedly. Mo Qixiang, a scumbag who deceived 12 girls at the same time. When the meteor came, he was holding a bunch of flowers in his hand and confessed to the 13th girl. Of course, when it came, the bouquet of flowers did not come. Because he thought he had drawn a talent that matched the shooter, so he chose the shooter career. He couldn't wait to open the details of his talent. Talent, hard and sharp arrow. Quality, F. Effect, when using a bow and arrow type weapon, the shot arrow will become harder, but there are pros and cons, and the weight of the arrow will increase. He cursed and closed the system information, bent down and picked up the iron bow, the original weapon that came with the basic profession. When he looked up again, a middle-aged man appeared in front of him. Do not come. Without saying a word, he used his bow and arrow to pose, as if he was going to shoot if he didn't agree with him. Hey brothers, don't get excited, how about our team? The opposite person raised his hands and continued, you are a shooter, and I am a support. We are born together. When talking about this, she clapped her hands with excitement. Seeing that the opposite person had no weapons in his hands, Mo Qixiang's heart relaxed a lot, and his brain began to seriously think about what he said. Indeed, if there is a support, it would be better than alone. How to prove that you are a priest? Mo Qixiang asked. I saw a green light from the hand of the opposite person, and injected this light into a tree next to him. The tree has not changed. Have you seen it? The basic profession has only 2 skills, and the other one can only be learned at level 3 of the profession. I now only have a non-harmful healing skill, not a priest. What is it? It makes sense for Mo Qixiang to ponder. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com put down his guard and inserted the arrow back into the quiver on his back. All right, then. A person suddenly appeared in front of him, piercing a dagger precisely into his throat, and the impact force caused him to fall to the ground in an instant. The man pressed the dagger with his own weight, making it pierce deeper. The speed was too fast, and Mo Qixiang didn't react in a hurry. He could only stare at the man in front of him with his weak hands. This is obviously an assassin who is invisible and waiting for an opportunity. Seeing that the opponent hadn't completely died yet, the assassin stabbed a few more times, turning the shooter who had just arrived a few minutes into dust and dissipating in the air. Deceived others all day long, and finally got deceived, but it was a reward for evil. Finally died. Hey, it's less than 10 minutes, so it's the second one. According to this progress, by the end of today's 6 hours, we should be able to rise to level 3 or 4. The middle-aged pastor walked over happily and chose the one he chose. This partner is very satisfied. There is one more way for priests to obtain points than other professions, that is, they can obtain points by assisting others in killing others. As long as the killer has received the support of the priest within 3 minutes, the priest can also get 1 point. Before they came out of the joy of killing the enemy, they heard the sound of stepping on leaves not far away. Who? Times 2. The 2 immediately changed color, and the assassin reacted quickly, and immediately went into invisibility. The sound of footsteps gradually progressed, and in a short while, a boy walked out of the woods. So handsome. After seeing the person's face clearly, the middle-aged pastor widened his eyes and said subconsciously. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points. Chapter 4, First Battle. Yes, it is Su Yang. As early as when the middle-aged pastor made a request for team formation, he had already arrived, so he chose to wait and see first to be cautious. Unexpectedly, not only saw an interesting battle, but also learned that the assassin's first skill was a stealth effect, plus the priest's only non-harming skill. For him, the two people at the scene had no threats, so he took the initiative to show up. Although he knew that there might be some people hiding in the dark, he was not worried. As long as you get rid of one of these to get him promoted, he won't be afraid no matter how many come. He has this confidence in his own strength. He stretched out his right hand, and a large iron sword was quickly constructed in front of his eyes, and the hilt was located in Su Yang's open palm. With a firm grip on his right hand, he held the big sword firmly in his hand. This is the initial weapon of his choice, a thick iron sword 1.2 meters long and 0.2 meters wide. The warrior has many initial weapons to choose from, and this sword is the most suitable for him. Your sword is a bit different from the warrior we just killed, haha. Seeing the young man's confident face, the middle-aged priest felt a little nervous. He is most afraid of meeting such a young man who is physically strong and energetic. Su Yang smiled slightly and rushed towards the priest. The distance between the two was only 7 or 8 meters. Seeing that the situation was not good, the middle-aged pastor turned around and ran. However, facing the enemy is very dangerous. Half Moon Slash. Half Moon Slash slashes a half-moon sword gas in the specified direction, causing a small amount of damage to targets along the way. Su Yang gave a soft cry, holding the sword with both hands high and slashing with force, and saw an orange half-moon arc burst from the sword, rushing forward at high speed. How could the middle-aged priest dodge? He was completely hit by this arc, and fell to the ground with a scream. A wound nearly half a meter long appeared behind, like a continuous flow of mosaic liquid desperately overflowing. At this time, Su Yang had already rushed to his side, and he could kill him with a single stroke of a big sword. But he hasn't forgotten that there is one more person. Hearing the faint sound of stepping on the leaves behind his back, he turned around and swung his big sword already prepared. Only heard a scream, the invisible assassin was chopped to the ground and forced to show himself. The sudden pain made him let go of his hand subconsciously, and the dagger in his hand fell on the red leaf ground beside his feet. Before he retrieved the dagger, a sword light suddenly appeared in front of him. You sealed the player, and got 10 points. Reminder, if the current level is lower than 10 and the points are enough, it will automatically upgrade for you. Current level 2. You got 5 free attribute points. The assassin was sealed off, and 3 pieces of system information appeared in front of Su Yang. After being promoted, he instantly swept away his fatigue, feeling like healed all over his body, and every cell was full of vitality. Temporarily suppressing the excitement, Su Yang turned around and brushed a few swords, and then killed the middle-aged priest who had just performed the healing technique on himself and was about to escape. You sealed the player, Zhang Erqiang, and got 10 points. Sealed the 2 in a row. Su Yang was not complacent, he knew clearly that there must be people around him observing in secret. Walking quickly from a relatively empty location to the bottom of the nearest tree, Su Yang muttered, "Properties," in his heart and opened the property panel. Huh. Except for the 5 attribute points, is there no change in the rest? Except when the value in the level column changes from 1 to 2, the other information on the panel is exactly the same as before, except that there is an additional plus sign behind the 5 attributes below. System. Upgrading will only reward 5 attribute points, and will not automatically upgrade any attributes. But the higher the level, the greater the gain brought by the attribute. Reminder, upgrade will also heal all injuries and restore all physical and mental strength. Looking at the above sentence carefully, Su Yang understood the meaning. In other words, if 10 points of power can lift a truck at level 1, then at level 10, with the same 10 points of force, I might be able to lift 10 trucks. Of course, this is just a metaphor. But the truth is this truth. 5 attribute points, Su Yang has all added to his agility. At this stage, agility is obviously more important than other attributes. The direct effect of doing this is that he can clearly feel that his ability to control the body has been enhanced, his brain consciousness has been accelerated, his body has become more agile, and his feet have become lighter. It seems that even his balance and coordination have improved. If he faces the 2-person team just now again, he will definitely be able to complete the seal in a shorter time. Before closing the personal panel, Su Yang glanced at the level 1 last time. Level 2, 10/20ths. There are still 10 points, which means that one more person can be upgraded again. The improvement brought about by the upgrade is very obvious. Su Yang not only has to maintain its current advantages, but also continue to expand its advantages. He is very clear about the principle of step by step and step by step. The sound of sharp arrows flying from behind to the left. Su Yang was startled, and without looking back, he immediately fell to the left. Seeing a sharp arrow flying by my ear, before I had time to be grateful, there was a sudden heartache from behind. He looked back and found that there was a second arrow, and this second arrow had guessed where he was hiding, so he could hit it accurately. Did not immediately pull out the arrow on his back, Su Yang instead looked in the direction where the arrow was shot. At this moment, behind a tree about 20 meters away, two men who looked like they were in their 20s walked out one by one. Shooting an arrow means that their position is exposed, and there is no need to continue to hide. See you, that guy reacted very quickly. If I hadn't predicted where he was hiding, I'm afraid it would be our turn to run away. Good job, you are great. Seeing the two come out, Yu reading www.yuukanungshu.com. Su Yang didn't have a sense of crisis in his heart, but was a little grateful. Fortunately, he had added agility a few seconds ago, otherwise the first arrow would really not escape. You need to know that the arrow came straight to the head, and it will restart immediately if it comes. Until this time, Su Yang realized the importance of the environment. In this kind of woods with many shelters, it is not suitable for the straight and going profession of warriors, but more suitable for the agile professions of assassin. He should go to a more spacious place. The two shooters saw Su Yang's complexion calm, looked at each other, and immediately raised their bows to shoot again. Pretend to be calm at this time, go to hell. As soon as the arrows in the two hands were released, Su Yang flashed into the tree on the side, and the two arrows flew for a certain distance before they were inserted on different trees. Ah! Su Yang sneered. Even if an ordinary person shoots arrows at him from 20 meters away, he has a chance to avoid it. Not to mention Su Yang, who is now agile at 14 points. You know, this value is almost twice that of ordinary people. Besides, his level is 2, and his agility at level 2 is 14 points faster than his agility at level 1. Fuck. Why didn't he seem to slow down much after he was injured? I don't feel right, that guy seems a little better than the others. That's right. Of the two players we met before, which one of the two players who was not able to move because of the pain caused by an arrow shot? Why is this still alive and kicking? Will he not hurt? Just a wave of temptation made the two shooters intuitively feel Su Yang's difference. For this kind of obviously stronger person, their inner vigilance has not weakened, but has continued to rise with the growth of time. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points. Chapter 5, Upgrade again. Su Yang certainly hurts, and it hurts every time he moves. But as long as you think of continuing to seal one person to heal the injury and restore the state, this kind of pain is nothing. Is just an arrow stuck in the back, it does affect the action. Do you want to pull it out? Su Yang's heart is tangled. He knew that the injury would be heavier if he pulled it out, and if he couldn't seal one of them in time, he would lose too much blood and die. But the two shooters won't stay there well. Although they valued him a little bit, it was still 2-on-1 after all. Moreover, the opponent was also injured, and his combat power would definitely decline. So after a brief exchange, the two decided to outflank him. This would have been a good plan. If both sides attack at the same time, the enemy will have nowhere to hide, and will eventually be killed by one of them, if their target is not level 2 Su Yang. Hey, that handsome boy, why don't you come out and be sealed by us? Yes, die earlier and start again sooner. We will seal you instantly, and it won't make you feel painful. Yes, it's just a few points lost anyway. With the thought of psychological warfare, the two wanted Su Yang to come out and be sealed by them obediently. But it's a pity that they don't know that the upgrade will heal all injuries. If they know it, they will always guard against Su Yang's counterattack. Through the voice, Su Yang confirmed their location. He retracted the big sword into the system space and picked up a piece of rock on the ground. The moment one of the archers took the arrow from the quiver, he rushed out. Level 2 agility at 14 points, a distance of 15 meters, and arrived in less than a second. Saw him hit the opponent's face with a punch, the opponent subconsciously resisted, and was instantly overturned by the momentum. The arrow just taken out of the quiver also fell to the ground. Su Yang did not continue to attack, but threw the stone in his hand to another shooter not far away. At this time, he was aiming, but there was a stone flying in his sight. The arrow in his hand successfully shot out, but in order to avoid the stone, the arrow shot was ridiculously crooked. Su Yang picked up the arrow that fell on the ground and pierced it directly into the heart of the player beside him, and the opponent turned into dust in an instant. Didn't want to look back quickly, but saw another shooter running away. You sealed the player, Wu Chen, you got 10 points. Hint, you have upgraded, the current level is 3. You got 5 free attribute points. Reminder, you have reached level 3, open world chat and battlefield forum functions. The part of the arrow that pierced the body disappeared like a phantom, and the half of the sharp arrow left outside naturally fell to the ground. When the state returned to full, Su Yang immediately increased his agility, and chased after the person. Big brother, I was wrong, kill me. Even though the man knelt down and begged for mercy, Su Yang was still merciless. It's okay. Anyway, you don't have many points. If you die, you can come back soon. I will seal you instantly, no pain, no need to be afraid. Then only heard a scream from the forest. From the moment he ran away, he lost. Infinite Land is a part of the Infinite Battlefield, which is a planet the size of a blue star. Is named Infinite Land because when the exploration degree of an area reaches 70%, the terrain of the area will change again. In other words, although this planet will not grow larger, it has unlimited possible terrain. Unlike the blue star, this is a planet specially created by an infinite system, so there are no living things on the surface. The only thing is a variety of strange landforms and celestial phenomena, diverse treasures of heaven and earth, mysterious treasure chests hidden everywhere, and countless magical secrets with strange animals. When the player enters the Infinite Land, the above basic information will be automatically instilled into the brain of each player. More than 5 hours have passed since the opening of the Infinite Battlefield. In the past few hours, Su Yang fought and walked east. There is no map. He doesn't know what the east side is, but he can feel that the terrain is getting flatter and flatter. His purpose is to get out of this unknown burning forest. Reminder, your total arrival time is 5 minutes left. A system prompt appeared in the upper right corner. If it is in this world, it should be around 5:55 in the morning. Is he a liver all night? Su Yang laughed mockingly. Suddenly came the sound of a few sharp arrows breaking through the air. Su Yang's eyes flashed, his figure moved quickly, and he quickly dodged sharp arrows in 3 directions. Turning his head back with a wave of the big sword, he cut out a half-moon cut about 5 meters long. What? 3 exclaims came from behind the tree at the same time. The speed of the sword is so fast that they have no time to escape, and the tree and the people are divided into 2. Boom! Boom! The big tree fell to the ground, and the fire on the leaves went out. Now, Su Yang has basically figured out the influence of attributes on the skill of half-moon slash. The higher the power, the greater the slashing power and the larger the range. The higher the agility, the faster the slashing flight speed. Now he can undoubtedly kill him who just entered the battlefield. After walking out of a dense forest, his eyes suddenly opened up. Ooh! Are you finally leaving this ghost place? After sweeping his cautious expression, he excitedly rushed out of the dense forest and ran to a dirt slope. Looking down, there is an endless green grassland. The grassland is full of players in battle. Glanced over like a million army melee. So many people. If I had come here, it would be level 10 long ago. Su Yang just complained. Many people also mean danger, and being stronger will become the target of public criticism. It is better to be in a place with few people when you are weak. Happily drove off the hillside, just listening to the louder and louder noise in his ears, Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com can even clearly hear the sound of weapons exchange. Seeing a large group of people sitting there chatting from a distance, Su Yang was curious and walked over quickly. "Hey brother, what level?" As soon as Su Yang came over, someone immediately asked him, and several people nearby also cast their sights. "Similar to you." Su Yang smiled slightly, found a spot and sat down. "Level 3. Level 4. Level 3. Oh, level 3, that's really okay. The tallest one here is only level 4, and it's a martial artist who has been practicing since childhood." When someone next to him heard it, he immediately answered, "No, I heard that they are still A-level talents." Class A. Everyone around was surprised. Is there really a grade A? I always thought that the highest grade is only B grade. Yes, I have never seen a player with the talent level of A-level on the battlefield forum. Not necessarily, don't be so gullible about other people's words. I wouldn't believe in the existence of A-level talent before I actually saw it. The person who said this had a sour tone. Listening to them chatting, Su Yang has a strange face. He turned his head and asked weakly, what level of talents do you have?" "Class D. Class D. I'm better than them, I'm a C level." "Class E. G grade." The sour voice said with a bit of disappointment. Forcibly suppressing the instinctive feeling of schadenfreude in his heart, Su Yang nodded in a serious expression, "Yeah, that's okay. Not bad." He added without conscience. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points Chapter 6, Shirayuki Palace of the Rebirth. Seeing that the time is approaching, before leaving, Su Yang opened his attribute panel and checked his harvest tonight. Name, Su Yang. Level, 9, 50/90ths. Talent, 10 times the points, special and unique. Occupation, Warrior LV1, 0/50. Professional skills, Half Moon / Strength, 19 + 4. Agility, 29. Spirit, 10. Endurance, 14 + 2. Constitution, 14 + 4. 19 have a total of 8 levels and 40 attribute points. Among them, 20 points add agility, 10 points add strength, and 10 points of endurance and physique are half and half. For him as a fighter, he has agility and strength, and endurance can enhance his recovery ability in all aspects, so that he has a stronger lasting combat ability. Physique can increase all resistances except mental resistance, making him more resistant to beatings. In short, such a plus point is more secure. Your arrival time has returned to 0. On the infinite ground, all the people who did not leave here halfway turned into golden light spots, dissipating between the sky and the earth. Blue Star. June 12, Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning. At the same location on the rooftop, the same golden light points condense the figures of 2 people. Looking at the familiar world in front of him, Su Yang was shocked, then took a deep breath and sighed. Came back. Yes, I'm back. Tang Weiyue followed. The morning sun shone on the faces of the 2 of them, and they were faintly golden. The whole night of fighting didn't make the 2 of them tired, on the contrary, they were full of energy. Your battle card has been updated, you can read battle card to view it. What? Seeing the system information in front of him, Su Yang was very surprised. He thought that this battlefield system would not follow the world. And Tang Weiyue looked at each other. Although they couldn't see her system information, they could read her shock from her eyes. Battle card. Su Yang has gradually figured out the judgment of this system. Although it is written silently, it is okay to just say it. A card with a gray background gradually emerged from the void, and when it was fully manifested, it hung in the air and rotated clockwise slowly. Seeing this, Su Yang blinked. Why does this battle card seem to have a physical appearance? Yu Guang noticed the light around him, turned his head slightly, and saw another battle card. So you can see other people's battle cards. Tang Weiyue obviously also saw Su Yang's battle cards. The scene suddenly became quieter. Su Yang silently took the battle card in his hand and carefully observed the card. In the middle is the image of Su Yang. This image is the moment when Su Yang turned back while avoiding the 3 flying arrows. On the card surface, he was turning around, holding a big sword in his hand. Because of the fast speed, the silver sword had an afterimage. The 3 sharp arrows were on his right armpit, right hand and left ear, which looked very thrilling. There are only 2 columns in the upper left corner. The first column is Su Yang's name, and the second column is Su Yang's player number, 75,368. There is a big number 9 in the upper right corner, which should represent the level. There is also a column of career information below the card, which says, Warrior LV1. In addition to the above image, name, number, level, occupation type, and occupation level, there is an unexplained energy slot at the bottom of the card. Suddenly recite, battle card, to reveal the battle card or view the information of the battle card, and recite, armed, silently to inherit all the abilities of the battle card to the body. Consumption of 1 point of energy per minute when armed, less than 1 minute is subject to 1 minute. The default upper limit of the card on gray background is 10 energy points. Reminder, automatically restore 1 point of energy every 10 minutes. Fight for 10 minutes, charge for 100 minutes. After reading these system information, Su Yang subconsciously frowned. 10 points of energy for a card on a gray background, plus 1 point of recovery for 10 minutes, which means that an arming lasts up to 11 minutes. This time is long and long, short and short, it depends on how it is used. If you want to save your life in a critical moment, 11 minutes is more than enough. If you want to make a big move, 11 minutes will be a little stretched. However, since it has a gray background, there should be cards with other background colors. In other words, the card time should be improved. Those things can be ignored for the time being. Looking at the number 9 in the upper right corner of the battle card, Su Yang couldn't help frowning. When other people are generally level 3 or 4, being at level 9 is a bit eye-catching. It seems that after reaching level 10, I must first use my points to improve my strength and improve my foundation. Su Yang made this decision in his heart. There are many ways to improve your strength, such as excellent professions, powerful owned skills, strange treasures, etc. There is more than just upgrading. If all the points are used to upgrade the level and not for other aspects, if someone is overstepped and killed, it will lose the face of the traveler. Took the battle card back, watching Tang Weiyue still immersed in her beautiful Kathu, Su Yang didn't bother, turned and left. God of the Summer on the capital. In an inconspicuous little room, on a wooden big round table, sit 5 young men and a white-haired girl who is not more than double 10. The sun shines through the half-open window, and the heat from the tea swirls in the sun. In the early summer morning, a cup of hot tea is refreshing. The quiet and peaceful atmosphere didn't last long before being interrupted by the girl's cold voice. How is it? Everything I said has been fulfilled, now you can trust me. The white-haired girl named Gong Baishue has a pair of red pupils and is wearing a white gold-rimmed robe. She crossed her chin with her hands folded, her face was indifferent and majestic. It is very common for people with various colors of hair and pupils in Blue Star. Hehe, we have always believed in you, but what you said before is too unbelievable. Among the 5 men, the blonde and golden pupil sitting in the middle smiled faintly and replied to Gong Baishue. The plan? Let's do the plan as you write. You read www.yuukangshu.com, but some things are not good, we have to change it. Snow-white jade hands rubbed both temples, Gong Baishue sighed deep in her heart. What's bad? Putting down her hand, she asked calmly. The blonde and golden pupil picked up the plan in front of him, flipped through it, and said, for example, after this camp is opened, the points that each player has to pay each week are too small. It should be doubled. Also, it's not good for this recruiter of civil powerhouses to be transferred to the new department. It is good to keep some as our guards. There is also the matter of monsters and crystals. If killing monsters can really drop crystals, then all the crystals should be concentrated in Xanadu, rather than scattered across the country. Of course there are many small details, which I can't finish here. Gong Baishue's face changed, her eyes fixed on the blonde boy, and there was a ray of undisguised disappointment in her red pupils. Are you at this level? The 5 people on the opposite side did not understand her meaning. Gong Baishu aside, her tone became extremely cold. You are not qualified to modify this. We are qualified if this plan falls into our hands. Now, you can go back. Without talking nonsense with them, Gong Baishu walked out in silence. Was quiet for a while. Just let her go like this, the legendary rebirth. Otherwise, what do you want? She is not an ordinary person. If it is not for special circumstances, she can submit this plan herself. It's just a rebirth who only remembers big things, not to be afraid. Then change this plan before handing in. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points. Chapter 7, Battlefield Forum. What is the mysterious infinite battlefield? Is it high-latitude technology or fantasy power? What exactly is infinite battlefield? All the information you want is here. Important notice. Please don't go out if necessary in the near future. Surprised. A man in Beihai took advantage of his master in the infinite battlefield and stole 15 households with a total value of more than 1 million residents overnight. He has been arrested by powerful residents. On the professional skills and pros and cons of each occupation. Su Yang was using his mobile phone at home. When he saw the 4th news, he was funny and reminded him at the same time. Either the time comes to change it, or he hides the valuables even though he doesn't have any valuables at all. Randomly clicked into a post, but the mobile interface was stuck there. It is probably because the server could not bear the visits of so many people and crashed. Since the server is not working, take a look at the forum. Battlefield Forum. A bright blue virtual interface appeared in front of my eyes. Battlefield Forum is a function that will only be opened when players reach level 3. Ever since he discovered that the system still exists in this world, Su Yang has known that this thing must also be opened in this world. On the forum, each player can set a nickname and an arbitrary profile picture. If you want, you can also set basic information such as gender and age. This is obviously a lot more convenient. You don't have to worry about others discovering your true identity on the forum. Welcome to the Infinite Battlefield. Poster, Infinite Battlefield. Analyze the mechanism of infinite land in detail. How can I upgrade faster? Poster, Shenyan Susheng. Let's piece together a map of the infinite land. Poster, Golden Adventurer. Talent record post, see whose talent is better. Poster, Huge Sand. What kind of changes will the infinite battlefield bring to our lives? Poster, Gourmet Xiaonan. On the first page of the homepage, these posts hang high on it, and the number of visitors has reached an astonishing billions. The number of comments on the first post has reached more than 800 million, and this number is still rising. This post is the first post that comes with the system after entering the forum, and the poster is shown as Unlimited Battlefield. There are only a few simple sentences in the post, which almost give a rough introduction to the situation and functions of the forum. The first comment below was written by someone nicknamed Huan Shen. The comment is just 2 words, sign in. The comment time is 12:30 today. This phantom god is Su Yang's ID, and his head is a picture of the scenery he casually took on the infinite land at that time. He doesn't know if he is the first player in the world to reach level 3, but he is sure that he is the first player to comment. Therefore also won the forum title, The Oldest Man, rewarded with a cool profile picture frame. The forum name turned orange. Is like a VIP, it is different from others at first glance, it is noble and classy. Look at the comments below, it fully reflects the essence of human beings. The word sign in all the same. The second comment was generated at 0:26, and there was no big gap in the time after the third and fourth. Only the first comment is much earlier than the following. Perhaps because of this, Su Yang found that he had more than 20 million unread messages. These messages are all privately sent to Su Yang. Hiss, let me guess, do you want to get to know me more or want to know why you upgrade so quickly? He randomly opened an unread message, but there were only 2 words on it, mutual relationship. Su Yang didn't see it, and opened the following ones one after another. Big boss, you must be from the Condor Empire. Can you take me? Tell me the secret of your upgrade, I will give you 100,000 gold coins. Big Brother Extraordinary Person, has been concerned. I am the Prince of the Northern Beast Kingdom, tell me the strategy for upgrading, and I can reward you, if you are more specific. Swept away, nothing meaningful. More than 20 million pieces of information were impossible to read, and Su Yang simply emptied them all. The system will block all stranger information in the future. Clear. The so-called strangers, in the forum, are those people who are not concerned by the players. More than 20 million messages were emptied, and Su Yang looked at the simple interface and felt comfortable. Browsing, the title of a post caught his attention. Full map of the first edition of Infinite Land, with upgrade guide, poster, profit. Clicked in, and at a glance, I saw a huge hand-drawn color map, with names for every place. Below this map, there is also a large section of text for the characteristics of each place. The authenticity of the map cannot be verified by Su Yang, but he saw such a passage in the following text. The southern part of the plateau of the sky is the sunny forest, this is a burning forest, it will not burn due to other factors. The trees here are called Xiangyang trees, and sunlight is their energy source. Several treasure medicines may be born on the Xiangyang tree. In the center of Yangguan Forest, there is a huge mountain with a height of 13,000 meters called Huishan Mountain. Most of the mountains below are obscured by clouds and fog. Peak. The warm wind grassland to the east of Yangguan Forest. If Su Yang had landed on the eastern edge of the Yangguan Forest, it would be perfectly matched. It is normal that the mountain in the center cannot be seen on the edge. After all, the Yangguan Forest is not flat, and it is correct that the forest is burning. The east is also a grassland. In this case, the reliability of this map is greatly improved. But how does this guy know so much? Looking at the nickname, Prophet, Su Yang was very puzzled. Not only him, almost everyone who saw this post was puzzled. And why does this person say all this information? Is it just for the name? Su Yang followed her. Pulling down further are some strategies the Prophet said. If it had only made Su Yang curious and puzzled before, then this strategy would surprise Su Yang. In the Infinite Land, sealing the enemy is not just to kill the enemy with your own hands, but also through indirect means. Such as the most typical setting fire to the mountain. The player of the Condor Empire Rhine Hagayat did just that. The fireball of his mage's initial professional skill caused a forest fire. All players who died as a result of this fire were judged to be Hog Hayat sealed. After the arrival of today, he reached level 6. In the Misty Islands and Thunder Seas, it is more common to use this indirect method to seal the enemy. Because there is the sea, as long as you push players who can't swim into the sea, you can basically get points. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points. Chapter 8, Profit. Therefore, players who descend on various positions on the infinite ground do not have to worry about excessively increasing their combat effectiveness. You must know how to use the terrain you are in. Half of the comments below are asking about the identity of the Prophet, some asking why she knows other people's information, and some even asking why she knows so much. There are some prophets, and some don't. Black humor, Prophet, I want to ask, how many levels are the highest now? Who is it? Prophet, in addition to the Phantom Gods, the highest level should be Rhine Hog Hayat. The Jungle God, why do you want to exclude the Phantom God? Is there anything special about him? Prophet, I am not omnipotent. I don't know the level of Phantom God. It may be lower or higher than him. Su Yang was still thinking about why he knew who the highest rank in the world was and did not know his situation, when he suddenly received a private message. He is paying attention to only one person right now, which means that if this message is not sent by Infinite Battlefield, then this Prophet has sent him. Sure enough, the unread message showed that the sender was a prophet. Prophet, hello, I am glad you followed me, and I also follow you very much. Su Yang pondered for a while. The Prophet did not have any special meaning in this passage, so he wrote. Fantasy God, At the same time, on the other side. In a dimly dim bedroom with doors and windows closed, Gong Baishue is not as calm as usual. Oh my God! Who is this Phantom God? It's the Rhine who won the title of the oldest person in the previous life, so how come he has become him now? She hammered the quilt hard to vent her emotions. Yes, she is the prophet on the forum. Looking at the phantom god, who looks like a VIP, has an orange name and a cool profile picture frame, she suddenly feels very tired. In order not to cause the butterfly effect as much as possible, I have endured not to brush the points. Where did this guy jump out? I thought that as long as I followed the plan, it would go smoothly. She expected the plan to be changed midway, but she had never expected the appearance of this phantom god. The first person in the world to comment is almost everyone knows, and if this person is different from the previous life, you can imagine how much this has changed. Could it be that the butterfly effect brought about by my rebirth caused this person to appear? The motion of hammering the quilt suddenly stopped, and she bit her fingers and frowned in thought. But it's not right. How can a person who can surpass 7 billion players in the world be brought about by a small butterfly effect? She squatted on the ground in distress, cursing this fellow in her heart. Although there are tens of billions of people in the world, only about 7 billion people between the ages of 18 and 58 can become players, and the rest cannot become players. Seeing that the other party replied, although there is only one word, Gong Baishua's spirit was lifted. Are you a man of high cold type? Anyway, try it out first. Prophet, I am a prophet. Regarding the situation of the infinite battlefield, you can ask me if you have any questions. Every question needs a price, and the price is that you must answer one of my questions. Aha. No problem. Just say that first. Waited a full half a minute before replying to the message. Fantasy God, good. Waited another half a minute, and seeing that there was no next sentence over there, Gong Baishua pressed her patience and continued to write. Prophet, do you have any problems? No matter what. Fantasy God, yes. Oh, I replied immediately, there seems to be a problem. Gong Baishua was overjoyed. Prophet, say it quickly. Fantasy God, why do you know who is the highest level in the world, but you don't know my level? Gong Baishua looked at the line in a daze, thinking quickly in his brain. Tell him that I am a born again. It's impossible. How can I explain it? Say it didn't develop like this in the previous life. No way. If that's the case. Prophet, because you are special. Gong Baishua replied with some guilty conscience, and then immediately wrote. Prophet, then I should ask a question, which country are you from? How old is it? Is the gender correct? Where do you live? I didn't say that I can ask a few questions, right? So it should be okay to ask for, right? Gong Baishua praised her wit. Fantasy God, I am not satisfied with your answer, so I refuse to answer your question. But I can tell you my gender is correct. Prophet. The first conversation with this instability factor is over. From these conversations, Gong Baishua can roughly build the personality model of the other party. The gender is male. The simple and clear words indicate that he is inclined to reason and acts cautiously. Was dissatisfied with his answer but still answered one of his own questions, which means that this man has a certain sense of responsibility and a certain degree of integrity. To put it simply, he is an image of a man who is rational, prudent, honest, responsible, and biased towards justice. Sighed heavily, Gong Baishua closed the interface and opened the emerald curtain beside the bed. The sun shone through the clean window on her snow-white quilt with cute animal patterns. Forget it, this should be just an exception, it's just the first one to reach level 3. This guy should be sealed off by others soon. Maybe it was sealed off soon after reaching level 3. She climbed onto the bed, retracted the quilt, and comforted herself softly. The first person to reach level 10 should appear at the end of the third day. As long as this time is about the same, it means that there is not much change from the previous life. Thinking so, she fell asleep peacefully. The world is undergoing unprecedented changes. The Condor Empire pushed back its original agenda and prepared to start a world conference to deal with this sudden change. Empires, kingdoms, religious countries, hundreds of countries around the world have responded. The World Conference is scheduled for June 19, located on the Air Island, Buhlu Spell. The news spread all over the world and the internet immediately. Su Yang walked on the street and saw young people who were refreshed and looking forward to the future. The ugly business owner with a frown. There are laughter and laughter on the street, and can't wait for the children who want to grow up. The grandfather and grandmother who sighed the world, but were still doing Tai Chi in their hands. When passing by a large factory, I saw that the door was full of workers asking for wages. They were more or less carrying large packages and small packages. Obviously, they would go home regardless of whether they were paid. From now on, my fate is my fate. Hurry up. I have no time to spend with you. I still have a lot of time to come today. The new era is here, don't hurry back and study how it works. If there is no salary today, we will tear down your factory. The whole world is thriving and full of vitality. Su Yang came out to make soy sauce. It is stipulated in the rent agreement that if the 10 tasks required by the landlord are completed every month, half of the rent will be reduced. Soy sauce was just made by Tang Weiyue to Su Yang. It is strange to say that each floor has an area of 200 square meters, and the 3-story private house with front and backyards actually only lived with the landlord and himself. I have never met the family of a beautiful landlord. Although the other party had never seen Su Yang's family, it was right. Shook his head, thinking that it might not be peaceful for a while, Su Yang just bought a few more bottles of soy sauce from the boss. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points. Chapter 9, Shocking Hunting Group. On the way back with a bag of soy sauce, she happened to meet her old classmate Su Qinying and her boyfriend shopping. Su Qinying is the most familiar person besides Tang Weiyue. The two are in the same class from junior high school to high school, and the seats are strangely adjacent each time, which can be considered extremely destined. If I remember correctly, her new boyfriend this week should be Sun Renjia, Banqiao from the class next door. The two were shopping, and Su Yang didn't want to bother. So he pretended not to see it, and planned to walk past them quickly. Hey! Su Yang! Su Qinying waved to Su Yang and shouted. Before Su Yang could respond, 2 black vans slammed to a halt beside the 3 of them. The car door was roughly pushed open, and 2 2-meter-high black-clothed men on the front and the back came down and rushed to Su Qinying and Sun Renjia. What? The delicate and frail Su Qinying struggled very weakly, and was easily put into the car by 2 big men. Help! Help! Seeing a big man rushing towards him, Sun Renjia reacted quickly and immediately turned around and fled and called for help around him. But he was overtaken by the man in black and kicked to the ground. Fortunately, a fresh on the ground protected his face, otherwise he would lose his face. Seeing that he was full of shit, the black-clothed man looked very disgusted, and he hesitated whether he should continue to catch him. At this time, one of his accomplices was overthrown by Su Yang. He hurriedly rushed over with 2 other accomplices, and the 3 of them merged and besieged Su Yang. Neither side is armed. If these people had not been systematically trained, they might have been defeated quickly. Hurry up. Don't forget where this is. The Scarface driver in the car poked his head out and yelled at these people hastily. The 3 of them glanced at each other, stopped their hands tacitly, each took out a firearm from the inside pocket of their jackets, and directed them at Su Yang by accident. This is the first time Su Yang has seen firearms in reality, and there are still 3 firearms at once. Cursed 1,000 words in his heart, he had to raise his hands obediently to express surrender. Armed him is not unimaginable, but the current strength after being armed is far from being able to fight firearms. I can't avoid it, I can't resist it hard, and losing my life is a momentary thing. Looking at the 3 black bullets, a strong sense of powerlessness covered his heart. The 2 cars came fast and went faster. When the support arrived, it was already 2 minutes later. In the same place, there is no one. The sealed windows make the car look quite dark. There is less and less outside noise, it must be driven to some inaccessible places. After was taken out of the car, there was a dilapidated warehouse in front of him. The dust on the ground was a few centimeters thick, and the air was full of turbid gas. As soon as a few people walked in, the dust was flying in the sky, and Su Qinying was choked and coughed again and again. Speaking of which, Su Yang is still dumbfounded. Until he and Su Qingying were both tied to chairs, this familiar scene made him understand that they should have been kidnapped. What? Su Yang immediately realized something was wrong. He is just an orphan with no assets, and the other party cannot be directed at him. Turned his head to look at Su Qingying, but saw that the other person looked at him with a pair of 5-point apology, 3-point worry, and 2-point timidity. Your family is rich. The scene was quiet for a while. Su Qingying bit her lip and lowered her head. She is not tall, only over 1.5 meters. Wore a slightly large pink light jacket, the zipper of the jacket was only half pulled, and the white shirt inside could be clearly seen. Wrapped in black leather shorts, he wore a pair of knee-high boots on his feet. The long golden hair was tied into a ponytail, and the color gradually turned red from the root to the tip, and the tip of the hair curled up. I didn't bring a piece of jewelry, and the clothes didn't seem to be very expensive. No wonder she didn't find out that she was a rich woman for 3 years in high school. Sorry. Su Qingying lowered her head and looked at the ground. She couldn't see her face clearly, but she could hear her subtle but firm voice, I will definitely protect you. Su Yang only treated it as encouragement and smiled slightly. He looked at the warehouse calmly, thinking of ways to get rid of the predicament. A bald brawny man in a green vest walked in from the outside, glanced at Su Yang, turned his head and cursed at the 4 big men in black, I ask you to catch Miss Su and his boyfriend. Her boyfriend what? Where did this passerby come from? Her boyfriend is here. The scar-faced driver grabbed Sun Renjie by the back collar, dragged him in all the way, and threw him at the feet of the bald man. Su Yang looked at, secretly surprised. This ugly-looking driver is about 1.6 meters tall, but his strength is surprisingly great. A 1.7 meter young man lost 3 meters away, and he was about to reach his strength level. This man with a face is her boyfriend? The bald, strong man took 2 steps back in disgust. Right. As for the passerby, when we passed by, we saw the second Miss Su Jia call out the name of the passerby, so we thought he should not be a passerby. Su Qingying's ears are red, presumably ashamed. Wake up her boyfriend first. With the hard work and cooperation of several big guys, Sun Renjie woke up easily. The first thing to wake up is to vomit. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com. Oh. Cough cough, vomit. After vomiting and coughing, he didn't get up immediately, but continued to bend over and resentfully said. No matter who you are, I will never let you go. Dare to let me suffer this kind of suffering, and I will surely give it back 100 and 1,000 times in the future. After finished speaking, he looked up with hatred. When he saw the people holding him in front of him, his face suddenly became terrified. You are actually the infamous shocking hunting group. Wait, what I just said was just a joke, please forgive me. I am useful to you. I know a lot of information. The reason why Sun Renjie dared to speak ruthlessly is because ordinary kidnappers only want money and don't tear their tickets. Now that his attitude has changed drastically, it is obvious that this shocking hunting group is not an ordinary kidnapper. Oh. Then tell me something. The shocking hunting group has 4 thugs. The original name is unclear, but the code names are Black 1, Black 2, Black 3, and Black 4. Your name is Ku Beifong. You are the boss on the bright side, but in fact the boss is the scar-faced driver Sun Shangyi. As he said, Sun Shangyi, the driver, is indeed the real boss in the regiment. In fact, anyone with a little bit of intelligence knows it. But knowing that Gue knows, it's the same thing to tell it in person. Didn't seem to see Sun Shangyi's quickly gloomy expression. He continued, the reason why I know so much information is because I talked eloquently for several minutes, and said everything that should and shouldn't be said. If it weren't for being taken into the small black room to let him write down the information, maybe he would have to listen to him for 10 minutes. Infinite Battlefield, 10 times the points Chapter 10, Sand-Dust Half-Moon / Since being tied to a chair, Su Yang can clearly feel that the hunting team's attention to him has dropped drastically. They must not get rid of their previous habits. They think that after being tied up, unarmed ordinary people must dare not do anything and can't do anything. System, how long does it take to be armed? Will it be obvious? It takes 1 second to be armed. You can choose to cancel the special effects of the armed. Do you want to cancel it? Cancel. The calling system from the bottom of my heart learned the time needed to be armed, and after cancelling the special effects of the armed by the way, Su-yang began to rehearse the action in his mind. Because the clothes on Infinite Land are the same as in the present world, and the special effects of armed forces have been cancelled, the armed forces are silent and invisible at all. The rope tied to him is very tight, but not thick. With the powerful strength of his arm, it can be broken instantly. This time is 0.3 seconds. The reaction time of the average person is almost 0.3 seconds. In other words, when he stretches the rope, the other party will notice and react. Their firearms are all placed around their waists, and they need to be pulled out to aim and fire. This time may take 2 to 3 seconds. If Su-yang moves fast, this time will have to be longer. That is, the time he can give his full strength is only about 3 seconds. He looked at the scene carefully again. Haida and Heier had just taken Sun Renjie to the small black room and supervised him to write information, so there are only 4 people on the opposite side. If you guessed right, there should be a driver outside, and that can be ignored for now. 4 people sat there discussing the next move, about 5 meters away from Su-yang. At this distance, if it is to kill them, Su-yang is completely sure. But if you do this will cause a lot of trouble, it is the most suitable for disability. Armed. In his heart, he meditated on arms, and suddenly, the familiar power returned, as if it had returned to the infinite earth. Feeling the powerful force in his body, Su-yang was extremely confident in his heart. Easily stretched the rope and stood up, stretched out his hand, the initial big sword appeared in his hand. Until this time, the few people not far away turned their heads to look at him. Half-moon slash. Several consecutive horizontal and half-moon slashes hit the feet of the 4 people, and the dust on the ground suddenly rolled up and quickly rushed to more than 3 meters high. Half a month after cutting the aftermath and rushed to the feet of the 4 people, the powerful impact was like a rapidly advancing steel wire, tripping the 4 people and marking a blood mark on their calves. Flying sand entered their eyes and nose, and a large amount of dust was sucked into their throats. Despite being suffocated by the sand, the 4 hurriedly took out their firearms and fired violently in the direction of Su-yang. "I am here." Su-yang's voice came from the left, and they rubbed their eyes quickly while shooting in the direction through the dust. Su-yang kept changing the position to release the Banyu slash. Using this skill seemed to not consume physical strength, and quickly defeated these people. At this time, the diffusion diameter of the dust reached about 10 meters, not only them, even Su-yang outside could not see clearly. Taking advantage of this chaotic gap, he quickly cut off the rope from Su Qingying and ran outside quietly with her. Boom! Boom! What? In the flying dust, the sound of firing was endless, and occasionally there were several loud screams. I didn't know, but thought that there were multiple forces fighting each other in the dust. Hei Dai ran into the warehouse with a heavy weapon on each. At the first moment they heard the sound from the warehouse, they fetched heavy weapons from the small dark room. Seeing the dust in the warehouse, the firefight was fierce. At this time, the boss's screams came from the left side of the flying dust. Without a word, the 2 shot at the other side of the dust. Outside the window on the right side of the warehouse, Su-yang and Su Qingying's eyes widened, and they both looked dumbfounded. I just raised the dust, they have nothing to do with me like this. Su-yang defended himself with a guilty conscience. The driver outside drove away a while ago, obviously because the intensive firefight made him mistakenly think that the righteous force had arrived. So when the dust settles down slowly, maybe there are only 2 hunting group kids left on the scene. The situation will turn out to be completely unexpected by Su-yang. I really didn't expect the power of dust to be so powerful, I only intended to let the dust obstruct their vision. Su Qingying rolled her eyes and couldn't help but curiously asked, "Are you a soldier's professional skill half-moon slash?" "No." Su-yang smiled confidently, "This is the enhanced sand dust half-moon slash." He suddenly felt that his previous path seemed to be narrowed. A skill that matches the environment is so powerful that he might have to try it in the future. If it is on a snow-capped mountain, then it would be half moon / In the woods, just cut trees for half a month. On the grassland, just cutting grass for half a month. It seems that the power is much greater than other people's. Su Qinying asked suspiciously. So. Su Yang smiled. Su Qinying had also seen Ban Yuzhan of other fighters, but compared with his, the others seemed to be playing house. There was a low fence outside the warehouse, and the two easily turned it out, only to find that it was originally on the mountain. You saved a person and got 1 lucky point. The information of the good news system flashed by. Su Yang. Isn't saving yourself saved? Talk about saving a talent 1 point. This is too little. Seeing Su Yang walking towards a wild road with his eyes in a daze, Su Qinying reached out and stopped him. Wait, let me first see which way is better. Said, a pink light fell from the sky, shining straight on her body. The light filled her body, making her float up like an angel about to ascend to heaven. After a while, Su Yang realized that this was an armed special effect. Armed special effects. So grand. This beam of light is not an exaggeration to say, it can be clearly seen within a kilometer. It can also be changed, such as just a flash. Su Qinying blinked her big bright eyes, her beautiful eyelashes flickering slightly. She summoned a big steel bird. You read www.aconchu.com to let it explore the way nearby, and soon found a safe and short path. My profession is a summoner, and the initial professional skill is to summon a summoned beast. This iron feather bird is one of the basic summoned beasts and has the ability to launch steel wings. There is communication between the summoner and the summoned beast. When descending the mountain, Su Qinying introduced the profession of summoner to Su Yang, who was curious. The attributes of the summoner himself determine the attributes of the summoned beast. For example, if my strength increases, then the power of my summoned beast will increase, and the degree of increase for different summoned beasts is also different. When they reached the middle of the mountain, they saw a large number of justice teachers entering, and the two people were completely relieved and turned to leave by the road. In the dark room late at night. Moonlight spilled on the desk by the window, the only light in this room. Su Yang leaned on the desk, writing today's diary in this beautiful moonlight. He doesn't usually write a diary, but today he has to write it. June 12, sunny. Today is an unforgettable day. For the first time, I feel that life is so fragile. At that time, my life and death were only between the thoughts of others. The right to life was held by a stranger and lost the right to live. I was angry at the incompetence at the time. I will never tolerate the same thing happening again. I must become strong. There is no gorgeous rhetoric but the expression of Su Yang's emotions. Putting down the pen, he sat there quietly, staring at the diary, as if thinking, but more like in a daze. After a long time, he slowly raised his head and let out a heavy sigh toward the night outside the window.